Which brings me to Raygun. Now, we know her story. She went to the Olympics to compete in breakdancing. She got 0 points because she can't breakdance. It went viral around the world. We found out last week that she'd set her lawyers on a comedian and a comedy club that were going to host Raygun the musical, which was clearly a parody piece, but because of the lawyers, they ended up cancelling it. She said it infringed her copyright and all this other nonsense. But now it turns out that the comedy club offered to compensate her $500, which was their profit on the tickets, but she said no to that, and she's demanded $10,000 in legal costs. And this is the worst bit. All the proceeds from the show were going to a women's shelter.
Raygun is back in the news again, and it's bad, man. It's bad. I can't believe I'm talking about this chick again. I'm getting tired of it. I'm only joking. I've made some bank off this woman. But she's in the news again, and none of it's good. Now, at first, like just after the Olympics, I thought Raygun was a goofy chick, you know. She made a fool of herself, but she's pretty innocent. She's pretty slapstick. Then I thought, wow, she's a bit of a dickhead. You know, like a, haha, you're a dickhead kind of dickhead. Then I thought, nah, she's a dickhead. Now she's graduated from dickhead to massive, massive bitch. And who knows what's going to happen next? Because the woman is just a walking, talking catastrophe. Let's talk about it. So last time we talked about Raygun, it was all to do with comedian Steph Broadbridge. Now, Steph had announced a satirical musical called Raygun the Musical. But before the opening show, Raygun got her legal team to stymie the whole thing. She was claiming intellectual property, copyrighted fucking kangaroo dances, trademarked silhouettes, you name it. So the show was cancelled and the public kind of said, wow, what a bitch. Well, it turns out that not only did Raygun get this show shut down, as you saw in the opening clip, she demanded 10 grand for legal costs from the comedy club that was going to host the show. And if that wasn't like villainous enough, the proceeds of this show, the whole $500, were going to be donated to a battered women's shelter. I mean, this chick's just turning into a fucking Superman villain. But she's not the typical Superman villain. She's not the full frontal chuck a car at you, throw you into outer space supervillain. She's like a sneaky one. See, she tries to act like the innocent girl next door, but as soon as you turn your back on her, she's going to stab you right in the fucking spine. This is part of her clarification video that she posted to Instagram following the Steph Broadbridge stuff hitting the media.
I just wanted to say a few words about this Raygun the musical. So the first we heard of it was last Friday.
Now this Instagram video was posted 6 days ago as at the time of this recording. So that would make it about the 13th, 14th of December. So when she says last Friday, she means the 6th of December, the launch date of this musical. Just keep that in mind.
We were totally blindsided by this. And unfortunately, the blowback was quick. People assumed that we had developed it, that we had approved it, and it damaged many relationships, both personal and professional. So this is why my management and legal team had to work so quickly to shut the musical down. So it was really unfortunate that the show had to be cancelled so close to the launch. I know the artist would have put a lot of work into it, and that really sucks. But had we known about it sooner, there could have been a different outcome.
Well, here's the weird thing, Raygun. The only thing about this musical that you may have legal claim over is the trademarked silhouette. Apart from that, this is satire, this is parody. You can't copyright dance moves, that's fucking ridiculous. Now, Steph Broadbridge first announced this show to the world on the 25th of September. As comedian Lou Spears points out here,
I have here a screenshot of a post from Steph Broadbridge, the first post advertising the show. As you can see here, we've got the Raygun the musical, we've got the kangaroo pose, the silhouette, and when was this posted? The 25th of September.
Now, wouldn't you know it, in a spectacular coincidence, the 25th of September is the very same day that Raygun silhouette was trademarked. I mean, come on, that's too much of a coincidence. I think she's full of shit. Either that, or like I said, it's just the world's biggest coincidence. So, that brings us to this week. The media got hold of the fact that Raygun's legal team had demanded $10,000 out of this comedy club owner, you know, for legal costs. Now, the comedy club owner said, hey, hang on a sec, this show was only going to make like $500, and that $500 was going to be donated to a battered women's shelter. So as you can imagine, the media had a fucking field day. And what does Raygun do? She did what she always does. She took to Instagram to explain the whole thing.
Hi everyone, Raygun here. It's been a big couple of weeks.
Yeah, it has. You shut down a small-time comedian, which ironically is probably going to turn her into a massive comedian via Streisand effect. You demanded 10 grand from the till of a little comedy club. You deprived a women's shelter of a donation of $500. What did you do behind the scenes? Beat the fuck out of a few cancer patients? Tell a bunch of kindergartners Santa's not coming?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a wild ride. But I'm really pleased to say that we've resolved everything. My team's been working with Steph's team and we've managed to come to an agreement.
Yeah, the agreement being you've got to change everything about your show that we don't like. Otherwise, we're going to keep making legal threats against you about fictitious copyright issues. And by the way, you've got to pay us 10 grand. Oh, actually, the media's got hold of this and we look like assholes. We better back off. That's the agreement she's talking about.
And, you know, she still gets to go ahead with the musical. She's got a new name, new poster, and she still gets to take that show on the road. So, you know, it's, I'm really happy for her and I wish her all the best.
No, you don't. You tried to shut her down. Well, you kind of did shut her down. She's had to change a whole bunch of things about her show because you were throwing your weight around. And she wasn't doing anything to you. She wasn't taking any money out of your pockets. You've just got thin skin. Now tell us about the 10 grand. Try and explain that away.
We have not sought any costs from all this. So there's a lot of talk around this $10,000.
Oh, it's all made up. The bar owner, the comedian, the media, everyone's just lying. Fair enough. Okay, nothing to see here. Ta-ta, bye-bye.
That was from really early on. Day one, my lawyers were acting on my behalf.
Oh, that was from early on, like 2 weeks ago. So what you're trying to say is you have sought legal costs. It's just you're no longer seeking legal costs because you look like a massive And I love the way she says, oh, my lawyers were acting on my behalf. As if that's some kind of deflection. Lady, the headline here isn't lawyers are assholes. Everyone knows lawyers are assholes. The headline here is you are an asshole.
They'd sent out letters and, you know, they asked for a response by a certain time. They didn't hear a response. And, you know, we were worried that we might have to go to court. Obviously, no one wants that. And so the 10K would just be my potential legal costs if we had to go to court.
But you didn't have to go to court. This whole issue only became an issue because you made it an issue. You could have been chill about it. You could have laughed along with it. You didn't do that because you've got incredibly thin skin. You see how fucking slippery she is? She's like two-faced. Oh, I never wanted this to happen. I'm glad it's not happening. Lady, you made this happen. You caused this whole fucking thing. And now you're trying to act like the girl next door. And no one believes it. You're an asshole. Stop trying to convince us otherwise. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you have any comments, leave them down below or at my Twitter. It's @bear_ing. Alright, thanks very much for watching. These are my opinions. Don't sue me, Raygun. And I'll catch you later. Alright, ta-ta. Bye-bye. Recession!